Today we're going over 10 arcane theories that you need to know before Act 3. Some of these theories online are really out there, but these are the more interesting ones I found. First one is Rel Medada. There are people who believe that Mel and Rel from League of Legends are the same person. And there are also a group of other people who believe that they might be sisters, i.e. Mbessa would be the mother of Rel, making Rel Mel's half-sister. However, with both of these theories, the lore doesn't sync up. You see, Rel was experimented on as a child by the Black Rose in their academy, and her mother is said to be from a fallen noble house, which doesn't really fit with the Medadas at all, at least not yet. They did say in the series that someone stripped Mbessa of all of her holdings, so maybe that has something to do with it. But I think the main part of this theory has to do with Mbessa and Rel having the same hairstyle, and I'm just not thinking this one's gonna happen. Next up is that Sevika is Renata Glask. I believe that this theory is derived from the fact that Sevika keeps losing her arm, and theorists online have grounds to believe that she might get more enhancements in future. Although this one is very unlikely due to Renata's lore not syncing up, I do kind of wish Riot would have pushed for this one to happen. It does feel like a missed opportunity to give Sevika more agency in the story and to show that she does eventually manage to fill the shoes of Soko and somewhat Vander. Now there's another theory that people believe, and this one is that Singed will take Rictus's body and turn him into Urgot on Mbessa's orders. Urgot was originally a high executioner for the Emperor of Noxus, not necessarily a general in Mbessa's battalion. So again, this is another case where there's a theory, but it doesn't sync up well enough with the lore that we can even speculate. People do like to bring the Singed Oriana thing, with Singed essentially being turned into Dr. Revik. I don't think it's the same thing. Some of these changes that people are proposing are extreme. Zeri is Isha. This is one of the more crazy ones I heard while doing research for this video. So the account Confident Factor on Reddit believes that the hand gestures that Isha and Jinx make are hinting that Isha is Zeri, who makes very similar hand gestures. But this theory is dependent on Zeri also being another character called K, who Riot have explicitly said is not Zeri. So essentially this theory goes Isha is K, who is also Zeri, and I don't think that that is likely. So I don't see this one happening. But what is interesting about this one is that Zeri was also included as a Firelight in the new Teamfight Tactics set. It doesn't mean that we'll see her in Arcane, but they are at least acknowledging her existence in this world and her role as a Firelight. There's also another theory about Zeri that she's Marcus's daughter, but that one is so far out that yeah, we're not gonna waste time on that. Let's move on. Another Reddit user believes that Arcane survivor Jace could be the current Victor that we have in game due to their similar outfit design. What might have happened here is that Riot's team might have taken intentional inspiration from Victor's outfit as a nod to his design. I do believe this is one of the more intentional theories and something that might be happening because there is a rumored Victor rework coming. So that might happen. Next up is that a lot of people believe that Jace figures out time travel or has already time traveled when he touched the Arcane. Some people are taking it as far as Jace was the mage who saved Jace as a child, giving himself the opportunity to live so he can save himself again, so he can do something important in the future that maybe we'll find out in Act 3. That is the Jace time travel theory in a nutshell. Next up, we have another time traveler, Echo. We have time traveler Echo. Now, there are a lot of theories about Echo using his powers to severely influence the story of Arcane. Actions like saving Isha have come up, that maybe Echo will go into the past and save Isha's life, and maybe that there's another Echo from the future who's going to come back and we're going to have two Echoes operating within the same timeline. Crazy stuff like that. I do feel like how they handle the time travel, especially with Echo, is going to be very, very important because we don't want to give Echo the power to severely change the story that the Arcane writers have already told. I believe that they'd be destroying their product, destroying Arcane, if they allow a character like Echo to just rewrite events in history that are now set in stone as the series has established them. Yeah, to me, any writing tricks that somewhat depend on time travel seem very cheap, and they never feel as fulfilling as just telling the story in a linear fashion. But that's just me. Here's a theory that I had. I believe LeBlanc has Black Rose agents and spies in Piltover, and this would be more than just Amara. It feels like she'd need people close to Mel and Mbessa to pull off some of the stunts that she's been able to. Alora and Maddie are all candidates, and they all seem the most likely for the type of people who would be Black Rose spies. Two of the characters, i.e. Lest and Alora, have L and E as the first two characters of their names, kind of like LeBlanc. Maddie falls under suspicion because of her closeness to Caitlyn and because of the fact that her surname translates as champion. Final boss Victor is another theory that I believe is very likely. This would basically just mean that Victor is the final villain that we fight in Arcane, the main antagonist that we have to destroy or defeat. I'm hoping to get another video out on time about this because I believe there's so much to expand about the Victor thing that I just don't want to give you the summarized version here. But basically, we just need more answers about Victor's character. There's things like the Hex Claw, which he hasn't used yet, etc, etc. And finally, theory number 10 is that we will see a League of Legends character canonically die. Yep, I believe that there will be a character that will stay in the game League of Legends, but their story will essentially be over. And this would be before Riot maybe brings them back due to public outlash or whatever. I don't know what's going to happen, but there are references to tragedies where the main character dies in the Arcane intro. Stories like Macbeth. So this has people believing that a main character or a League of Legends champion could die in Arcane. I personally believe that this is highly plausible. And here's why. It would create shock factor. Can you imagine Twitter? Can you imagine the internet finding out that one of the League of Legends characters passed away and is just gone from the verse? It would create talking points, and people would remember Arcane as a series that was willing to do that. Another reason why I think it's important to do it is because it would remove the so-called plot armor that all of these champions have. It would show us that all of them can bleed and that we should watch with intent whenever Riot releases the next thing that will follow Arcane, because I do believe there will be somewhat a follow-up, be it another series, a live action, an MMO, whatever it is, there will be a follow-up. Anyway, that is 10 crazy theories for Arcane Season 2, Act 3, the finale. That's going to be super hype. I already know about it. Let me know if you guys have any theories that I missed or you want to just tell me about in the comments. And we're also heading to 10k subscribers, so be sure to join in if you haven't already. This is Lois signing off. Peace.